happy day. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, up at the cabin still, so it might be a little echoey. I apologize in advance if it is. Today I want to talk about being down in the dumps. Now, I'm never down in the dumps when I'm up at the cabin, right? It's my unwind, relax, walk, get out in nature, enjoy family and friends time. And so it's never a depressing or down in the dumps time. But sometimes when we're running our businesses and trying to create the businesses of our dreams and supersizing and growing our businesses, we find that we're not making that straight line trajectory to $1 billion. And that can leave some of us feeling a little depressed or down in the dumps. Down in the dumps comes from, actually, it's not like the garbage dump, as I'm looking at a pile of pizza boxes. It's not that kind of dump. Dumps comes from an old German term that means mental haze or fogginess, dullness, or gloomy feelings. So if you're feeling sad and depressed, you're definitely feeling down in the dumps. Now, before down in the dumps was down in the dumps, it's a cool alliteration. Everybody likes words that start with the same letter, like down and dumps. It used to be down in the mouth or down at the heels or something, were earlier versions of this expression or this idiom. But down in the dumps is the one that stuck with us the most. And I don't know how many times have you used that expression. I know I've actually used this expression before. If my kids are sad or something, I don't want to say, hey, are you depressed? Heck no, I don't want to point that out. I want to say, oh, it looks like you're feeling a little sad. It looks like you're feeling a little down in the dumps. What can I do to help? Or one of my friends or something might be feeling that way. Now, depression is a big clinical thing that I'm not even going to touch with a 10-foot pole because it's different for each of us. I know in my early 20s, I had some major health challenges, and there became a point where I was very depressed and very sad, and I had to make a decision whether I was going to quit on my life or I was going to figure it out. And of course, I obviously decided to figure it out because I'm here talking to you now. But it was not a pretty time. It was some pretty dark and gloomy days, or actually years. So I get that. But at that point, I was listening to Tony Robbins, and I decided that I would follow his lead, and I would erase the word depression and the feeling of depression from my repertoire of feelings that I could access. So I don't know what it would take for me to get depressed. It would be really, really hard. I've set the rules for what depression means to me so that the bar is so high, I can hardly never get there. Or really the bar is so low, it's almost impossible for me to get there. I had a sudden cardiac arrest and died, and that didn't make me depressed. So if that didn't make me depressed, I don't know what the bar is that would cause me to feel depressed. And that's just me personally. But I know that in our businesses, in our lives, and when we're growing or creating anything, whether it's our personal relationship, whether it's going after a material thing that we want, say a new car or a new house or a vacation or whatever it is, or building our businesses, supersizing and growing our businesses, there are huge ups and downs, hills and valleys on our journey to creating exactly what it is that we want. We have this vision for this amazing business, the way we're going to change the world. And a lot of times we think that, okay, here I am at A, here's B, and it's going to make this nice straight line from A to B, right? I'm going to get everything I want in a year. Well, guess what? That year is usually 10 to 20 years, and nobody really tells you that. I mean, I think people sort of tell you, but they don't, because we all hear what we want to hear. We see what we want to see. And the truth is, anything that we're going after, any goal, anything we want to achieve is always going to be this up and down. Lots of times it's more like a roller coaster ride than it is a ride up the mountain on a donkey or something. And that's probably a pretty good one too. But we get these expectations, and I think part of why we get depressed and sad and gloomy and negative and doubtful, and I call it the road, why we have all these reasons and obstacles and objections and beliefs and excuses for why things aren't the way we want them to be right now, is we have these expectations of how things should be, and we're comparing what reality is right this instant to what we think it should be. Guess what? What is right now is exactly what is supposed to be, based on everything else. And normally it's based on us and where we are in our ability to lead the organization that it is we are trying to create, the vision that we have for that organization. And until we grow and develop and do all the skill and have the skills and the abilities and mostly the beliefs and the thinking of the person that's capable of leading that supersized organization, that supersized organization doesn't appear. It means things like us personally developing, us becoming better people, us becoming more skilled, us becoming better leaders, us becoming better partners and team builders and coordinators and communicators and everything else. But depression, being down in the dumps, I will contend, and this will probably cause some grief, that it is 100% optional, and that we can choose at any time how we're going to feel about everything and anything. I've had really bad things happen to me in my life, and I could choose to be down in the dumps for them, and sometimes I will. Sometimes I'll take a day or two or a few days to feel sorry for myself, because we all want to feel sorry for ourselves sometimes, right? We're human. It's part of the human condition, and feel a little victimized. And then I'll say, okay, I've been sad about this long enough. I could be sad about this for another couple of years and really be down and destroy my life and really be miserable, but how long do I want to be miserable? How long do I want to feel bad about this? And usually, by the time I ask myself that question, I'm ready to take action and change something. And it usually starts with me. It usually starts with me being willing to ask the question and change my mind about the situation and about what's going on. And that immediately gets me out of being down in the dumps. So what do you do when you have a setback, when you have an obstacle, when you're feeling down in the dumps, when you're feeling depressed? Share in the comments below, because I would love to know, and I think we can help one another out a lot with that. I know what I do is very different than what other people do, because I just don't give myself the luxury of staying there. Yep, we all feel bad sometimes, but I feel bad and then I let it roll through me, and then boom, it's like, okay, what am I going to do about this? What am I creating now? Do I want to create a lot of more misery for myself, or do I want to feel good? I always vote for feeling good, and I highly recommend you do too. So share in the comments below what you do to get yourself out of those slumps, and I'll of course be with you tomorrow. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Don't be down in the dumps. You got this. Bye.